All right, we are live. So, welcome, Kevin, to this live chat. So, I haven't done one of these for a long time. So, you are our very first guest in like I don't know, it must have been a good 6 months now
Oh,
because I
really?
haven't had the time. Yeah, I haven't had the time to do any of these for a long time. So, really cool to have you here with us. And also, I have to say that I'm a big fan of the work that you've done. I know that you watch the channel, so I feel incredibly humbled that you actually watch my channel and you actually look up to my work because the work that you've done at Sifu on Sifu was absolutely astounding, and I've been wanting to talk to you since then. I've been pestering on messages, as you know, to actually talk to me, and finally, here we are.
Yeah.
So welcome.
Well, thank you very much. It's kind of you to say. Welcome everyone. Also, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for the invitation. Thank you for having me. And yeah, I guess I discovered your channel before
Mm.
even work on Sifu.
Amazing.
So
Amazing.
yeah, I was there. Maybe not at the beginning, but yeah, a long time
Yeah, a
ago.
little bit after.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is really cool. I hope it was useful to you.
Yeah, absolutely. I
Yeah,
already said to you that it was wonderful
thank
and
you.
it continuing to help me a lot.
That is really cool. Thank you so much for saying that. I appreciate that. To everybody in the chat, hello, John, Russell, Kopiko. Really cool to see you guys. Definitely send us your questions, right? Especially specifically to Kevin as we are talking, so we can answer your questions live. There's plenty of stuff that we need to cover here, but first and foremost, Kev, I would like to know, like even before Kevin, the animation director for Sifu, like where did your animation, your passion for animation started, and how old were you? What was the journey? Tell me a little bit about that.
Oh, okay. Uh, I guess it's a interesting story.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had to I have to go in my childhood.
Hmm.
I don't know, maybe 9 or 10.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember that it was already the movement because I remember playing with my action figures, planes, stuff like that, and
Yeah.
it was a movie in my head all the time. I remember doing and redoing the movement again and again
Right.
to have the perfect rate, the perfect movement trajectory, etc.
Amazing.
Uh,
So you
I
were actually recording them
no, just in my head.
just in your head.
Yeah. It's I needed the movement to be well executed, I guess.
Cool.
So yeah, I remember that, and actually, I forgot that after
Okay.
because I be I begin my study in computer science.
Hmm.
So yeah, I come from France, like you
Yeah.
may know, and in the south of France, and yeah, I have an HND in computer science. So uh, computer technical background stuff,
Yeah.
but I wasn't happy at this time, and I needed a more creative thing,
Yeah.
and yeah, so I tried to remember this childhood.
Yeah.
And yeah, after that, I remember learning like my first game editor with the Source SDK, if
Oh,
you may
source.
know.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Involve
I
source. Yeah.
I remember just empty the ink cartridge of the family, printing the documentation of Source,
Yeah. Yeah.
and learn how to create map, play with lights, assets, stuff like
That
that.
is cool. It's actually a good start because like Source is very technical, right?
Yeah.
You actually have in comparison to Unreal, it's not as easy to actually get into Source as in Unreal, right?
I don't remember quite well,
Okay.
I have to say, but yeah, I learn uh, with that, I guess,
Mm.
and yeah, I remember uh, how to say that, I remember compiling all night long and wake up early before going to school to see the result and define the next step. So yeah,
Nice.
I was pretty passionate about that, and I guess one day I decided to, yeah, to work in video games,
Yeah.
and I remember playing Uncharted 2 and decided to work on video games and ob- hopefully at Naughty Dog, but yeah.
And Naughty Dog. So Uncharted 2 was and Source actually was the two things that made you want to specifically work in video games, right?
Yeah, before Uncharted, I have to say that I was amazed by Jack and Daxter.
Jack and Dexter was a great game.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, the
yeah,
same
yeah.
series of games. Yeah,
No, Naughty Dog again. So yeah.
yeah, that was really really cool. Yeah, like I think Ratchet and Clank, I taken the mantle when it comes to those kind of games.
Yeah,
But Jack and Dexter, when it first came out, I remember it was a big thing. Like Sony was all over that.
yeah,
That is cool. And like going from playing Uncharted 2 and being like, I definitely want to do this, and to then getting to get in the
yeah.
games industry. What was your journey
So
to do that?
this was like 11, 12 years ago,
Yeah.
and I decided to enter in a artistic school called
Mhm.
ESMA. I don't know if you know.
I know them. I actually hired a few people from ESMA
Yeah.
at Creative Assembly, and yeah, they're great. They're really good,
So
really
yeah,
good.
I did this school, and after that, I searched my first job. It wasn't so easy because at ESMA we didn't learn the video game.
Mhm.
So even if I was a junior, the studio like more experienced people.
Yeah,
So it was tough to find my first job, but hopefully Slow Clap just give me my chance, and
good.
yeah, I'm entering Slow Clap, learning all Unreal stuff, or
Yeah,
how to animate attacks, combo, stuff like that on Absolver.
yeah.
We did the game. We shipped the game with two animators, so me and
Wow,
another one. It
that's
was,
impressive.
yeah, it was really hard. I have to say.
Yeah.
I don't know even now how we managed that, but
It feels like a dream.
yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
we did it.
And
And after that, the my binôme left Sloclap,
yeah,
so I became the only one, and I had to create a
yeah,
team for the next game, which is
nice.
Sifu, and yeah, I create the team and form them, and trying to do my best to learn how to became an animation director, how to become a
Yeah.
lead, how to become everything.
It's a lot. It's a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah,
So because of this, and we're already having people in the comments saying that Sifu is amazing and all that stuff. So welcome everybody, like watching this right now. So um, you had to learn a lot very fast, right?
yeah.
And this is the stuff that I think that I'm super amazed because here's most people that I know that became animation directors, including myself, there's a slow build up to actually get to this point, right? You actually get to be a lead first. You normally have to work with certain companies and AAA companies, and you get to see sometimes it's difficult, sometimes it's not. But either way, you actually learn on the job. But for you, you had to basically go from being the only one animator to then having to build a team to become the animation director and then create an animation system that to today's standards is kind of like unseen. I know Absolver looks very close to Sifu in a way, but it's basically like the child of Sifu. Like the Sifu is actually much better. So how do you cope with all those things growing as an animator so fast, right? How was that journey?
Uh, First, I had no choice.
You just had to do it.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, but actually, I think it's the secret there
Mm,
because I didn't have time ask questions, and I had to do things, and did my best to do things.
Yeah.
Uh, Hopefully, I had mentors, not animation mentors, because I never had animation lead,
Yeah.
but the creative director on Sifu and lead gameplay programming
Mm.
uh, are insane, and
They're really good.
yeah, they are really good, and they become my friends, hopefully, and we, yeah, I learn a lot from them. I
Yeah.
learn how to um, dissect animation system from other games. I
Right.
learn to do prototypes. I learn
Mm.
everything, I guess.
Yeah.
And it's often like observation, because
Yeah.
uh, it it wasn't like formations or I don't know, meetings. It's all observation by myself,
Hmm.
and trying to redo stuff, and trying to again do my best for do everything. So yeah,
Mm.
it's it's pretty hard to describe, because it's not so common, or maybe I don't know, but yeah, I just had to do it, so I did my
Yeah.
best.
But see, I believe, right, looking at the work that you've done in Sifu and how you actually were incredibly ambitious with the animations and all that stuff, I think there is an element of like being new, but
Mm.
also being ambitious and also wanting to make games better that kind of like amalgamated into this thing that you did. Because I feel like Sifu is so complex animation wise that like I feel like a lot of people that have experience that have done many games before, if you were to actually kind of like draft a thing of like this is what Sifu is going to be animation wise, people will be like, this is too much work, right?
Mm,
So I actually think that you were the perfect person for the project at the perfect time
yeah,
in order to
maybe.
actually push boundaries, right? In order to
Yeah,
actually
yeah,
make it better,
yeah.
if that makes sense.
I share that opinion, because yeah, I didn't know much about how to do a video game, even if I did Absolver. So yeah, I guess I am a yes man. So
No,
where no,
I
no, no,
don't.
no, 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 because yeah, I knew that uh, it will fine. It was hard, obviously,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, when I saw things like could be very cool,
yeah.
I become to say, okay, let's do this. And after that,
Oh, I see.
maybe okay, not so, not maybe too ambitious. Maybe we can do a little less, but trying to do the, I don't know, the goal,
Yeah,
the feeling of it.
yeah.
So yeah,
Completely. So yeah, no, in that case, if you mean yes man as a person that
yes,
is really like on it and saying yes to let's do it, yeah,
mm,
100%. Because I think it requires a lot of, because at some point in the project you must have realized that this is looking really cool, but now there's this amount of work to be done in order to make the whole game looking
yeah,
cool, right?
yeah.
So how do you actually kind of like say put your head down and just go, let's just do this, right? Like it must have been scary at times.
Yeah, at the beginning of the project, it was very scary, because we all knew that animation would be it was really important for us.
Right.
It was a lot of work, and I didn't know at that time if I was able to do it.
Hmm.
Even with the team, I didn't know. So just I guess I played the game of trust, and begin slowly with a lot of precaution, with producing, with yeah, planning,
Yeah.
refine planning again and again,
Yeah.
maybe every day if I need it. So yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And like I'm a big believer that only when you feel slightly off balance or something feel slightly you're afraid of something, that's when you find an opportunity to grow,
Yeah.
right? Because obviously you didn't know you could do that, and then when you do it, you're like, okay, now I trust myself a bit more, and I feel a bit more confident about myself. Do you feel as a animation director right now? Do you feel obviously not like you are the best, but do you feel more confident as an animation director in the job of an animation director?
Tough question because confidence and me, uh, yeah, we are not so good friends. Uh, yeah, I have like a lot of artists, I guess, the imposter syndrome and the lack of
Hmm.
confidence is really really deep with me,
Yeah.
and I have to, yeah, to fight against that every day, and but I could say that obviously I am more confident to to I don't know, to become a new game, to become a new project. So yeah, I'm more confident, but
Yeah.
I still have this thing, this little voice in my head to just say to me, you are not able to do this.
Okay. Yeah. No, I understand that. See, what would you say? Because I understand the feeling because I have it, and most people that actually are at high positions that I know of always have that feeling. It never really goes away; it just changes as you
Yeah.
go through. You feel uncomfortable or slightly like not sure of yourself about different things now
Mhm.
as you grow as an artist. But like, what would you say to the young artists out there, young animators out there that are looking at you and be like, man, you actually are the animation director for Sifu. Like, you should feel
Mhm.
super confident because you created this game that was amazing and all that stuff. How can you doubt yourself?
I guess if I'm not trusting myself, I trying to trust my friends and my colleagues, and the players, obviously, and other animation community. So hopefully I trust them,
Yeah.
and trying to do my best again to to better, I don't know how to say, but better trust me.
Yeah, of course. Of course. Yeah. To overcome the challenge, right? Of the trust
Yeah.
issues. Yeah, I think that's a great analogy of like trusting the players and trusting the product in the end, right? Because if people like what you've done, and the majority of people are saying that Sifu is good and the animations are amazing, then they must be. The way I feel sometimes is that no matter how many times people tell me that your work is great, you just go like, "Yeah, I'm all right.
Yeah.
I'm not good."
Yeah. Yeah. I know.
But I think what you said is completely true. I think you have to just go like, if most people say that is good, then it must be good, right? That's basically, there's no, you've done your best, you put it out there to the world, people can play it, and
Yeah.
most people are saying that it's good, then that's it must be good, right?
Yes.
So I think that's a great analogy. So yeah, really cool, Kevin. I'm just gonna go ahead and just get you some questions here from the people that are watching this. And well, here there's a good question. So um Kopiko is asking, I want to know what is the process of animation in an acting shot.
An acting shot.
An acting shot, yes. Have you done any acting shots in Sifu?
Yeah, but
Very
we,
few, right?
yeah, very little. The process of it, it's, I guess, straightforward because we did a script
Yep.
phase to write down the intentions, to write down the dialogues,
Yeah.
and yeah, we did storyboards, animatics, and after that, final animation. I personally not did so much of acting shots
Hmm.
because I was pretty busy with the gameplay, and but I was the, how to say, the director of cinematics, so I had to validate everything
Yeah.
and give feedbacks, a lot of feedbacks, lot of iterations. So yeah, that's
Yeah. Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. So, like to add more information, Copico, to what Kevin has said, because I think it's spot on. Like at least in games, the ones that I've worked on, as Kevin mentioned, cinematics is the most straightforward thing that you can do in games because you can plan it, you can just shoot it, you can go off and just do the thing exactly as is intended, and then you just clean up the motion, put it in game. It's good times. In comparison to gameplay, which is incredibly complex. So, as animation director, like Kevin was, like what I had to do most of the time, it was actually pay attention to the gameplay because there's about a gazillion different things that can go wrong and they will go wrong, and then it's up to you as the person in charge to fix them as things don't work, or you need new features and you need to do new things in the game. And that's basically the fires that you have to put out most of the time when cinematics are shot, and then you already have everything done. It's basically like a conveyor belt. You just put it in wherever it needs to be, and then it's good to go. So it is not very taxing. uh, I think, was it like that for you as well, Kev?
yeah, yeah, the same
Yeah,
same process. Yeah, yeah.
the same thing, right? Which is really cool. Um, so we have here a question by Russell about, and I think this is good for you. From your perspective, Kev, what is the difference between an animation director and a lead?
The line for me, like I said, because of my particular experience, is pretty blurry.
Mm,
But for me, my lead works is more about planning stuff, about assigning some work on the person of the team, and trying to do estimation of the time, trying to yeah, I don't know, the management
yeah,
role, quoi. And director is more above because it's like uh, an artistic vision. You have
yeah,
to do the homogenization. I
yeah,
don't know. Yeah,
yeah. Keeping things more even.
yeah, yeah. More even. Yeah,
Yeah,
and yeah, you have to define the style of the animation. You have to give feedbacks to other people. You have
completely.
to maintain a certain quality
Mm,
also, and also you have to give your team the tool to better perform.
yeah. Yeah. No, that's a perfect answer. That's exactly what it is between a lead and a director. Yeah, some projects have only leads, some projects have directors, depending on the scope of the project. But yeah, like I think that's what it is. It's a lot of responsibility, right, Kev?
Yeah,
You don't really realize until you actually have it when people start asking you, so how should we do this thing in game? And then everybody's looking at you. So, Kevin, what's the answer? It's complicated.
it's exhausting.
It's exhausting. decision decision fatigue. Yeah, right. You have
Yeah,
to answer all kinds.
yeah, you need to have a lot of things in the head in the same
Mm,
time, and you have to to well communicate with all the departments. You
yeah,
have to knew the planning like years away. So
yeah.
it's a lot of things. Yeah.
That's amazing, man. Yeah, no, perfect answer. I hope that answers it, Russell. Feel free to keep on. Russell always has good questions, so feel free to keep it coming. Oh, here's another one from Russ. So I think this is a good one. Um, when creating a combat system, how early do you think animators should weigh in and make suggestions? I'll let you answer first.
Um, hmm. How early do you think animators should wait making suggestions? Uh, it's a good questions. Thank you.
Yeah, it is.
I have different opinions about that because
Mm,
it depends. For me, it depends if you are like a junior, if you never had to do uh, a combat system, because if you are the junior, you better you must have to just learn from your lead and just trying to reproduce the mindset and reproduce the things.
Hmm.
But when you have done some stuff, you can at the beginning just do prototypes and share ideas with designers and directors. So yeah, for me, early it's it's best.
Early is best. Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's actually really interesting because like Kevin is basically talking like this is why Kevin is so cool because he's talking like a veteran animation director. So yeah, like there's no bad time to me at least. There's no bad time for you to suggest things ever. Like doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter if you are a junior animator or whatever. You might not quite understand the vision, and this is where animation directors come along and say cool idea, but it doesn't fit here. Keep
Yeah,
it in mind maybe for the future. But suggesting is always a good thing. If you have a good animation director like Kevin, like they will always be open to suggestions, right? Because
yeah,
you cannot make the game alone as an animation director. You need to have your team suggesting
yeah,
things that are
yeah,
cool,
yeah.
right?
Actually, I uh, try to force my team to say something about
Exactly.
I don't know what, but yeah, even
Yeah.
if you are a junior and you you didn't show your work,
Yeah.
you have to say something about others' work.
Exactly, exactly. No, I think that's a great idea because a lot we animators, I believe we animators are mostly introverts, and
Yeah.
especially when you have working on something cool. I'm pretty sure you're gonna get even more Kev going forward because now you're gonna be the animation director for Sifu. So when people work with you, it's gonna be like you tell me what to do.
Mhm.
So you have to kind of like even more tell people like just give me your opinions, give me your ideas. What do you guys think? Things of that nature. So I think kind of like asking people what do they think is a huge thing in order to make sure they make suggestions.
Yeah, it's funny because like you said, now it's more like okay, tell us what to do, and I like to just um, ask the same question. So ask them and
Yeah,
you before I answer. And you, what do you think? What do you want to do? What do you want to say before I?
amazing.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah, perfect. That is great. Yeah, I find that if you don't do that kind of stuff, sometimes you nudge people to do something that perhaps they didn't want to do,
Yeah.
right? But if you just leave it open, people will have an opinion, and then
Mm-mm.
you'll see how it goes. Really, really cool. So thanks, Russ. Questions are coming in heavy, Kev. Uh, so this is a big one. So chromosome asks, I
Oh,
don't know if you mentioned before, but I love the physicality of Sifu's animation. Is it using a hybrid system that makes physics with animation, or is it just raw animation?
oh, cool.
Mm,
Thank you for the question. So in Sifu, it was not. It is not a wood system. It's
mhm.
all animation and
Amazing.
all keyframes animation actually.
Yeah, so cool.
S- but just on the finishes. So the takedown is based off mocap and AV or AV reworking that.
Hmm.
But yeah, all keyframe, all animation, just maybe some death after death animation we activate the ragdoll, but just in that case.
Yeah, so cool. Like, I think this will make people appreciate the work even more because doing all that can key and especially modifying mocap
Yeah.
heavily, it requires a lot of hand key skills as well.
Mm.
So it's not easy. So really, really cool. Um, uh, here's a tricky one, and once again, you don't have to share anything that is confidential, but as much as you possibly can, what do you plan to do differently on your next project as animation director, as far as leading a team?
Oh, thank you for this one. Um, in Sifu, like I said, I was always in reaction. I can't so much anticipate things
Mhm.
because I had to define how a boss moves or how the main character moves or how this NPC moves, and uh, and after that I had to animate directly after that. So no no so much of anticipation, and I guess next time I will prepare much longer before going to production and even before pre-production.
Mm.
Actually during the uh, how this called conception.
Yeah,
During the conception, I already do like documentation about how I like, what I like and what I dislike, and just prepare some pre-production stuffs.
nice. Yeah, that actually sounds super wise because a lot of the time, like games are so fast production that you go from one project to another.
Mm.
So having that time to kind of like think about the things that went well, think about the things that didn't go well, and then just do like a little bit of a debrief, as they call it, helps you a lot to analyze things because development is so fast sometimes that you forget about a lot of the pains that you went through because it's just like it happened a year ago, so
Mhm.
that's gone. But when you go back and you really sit down and analyze it, you realize actually that was really tough. We should not do that next time. So that sounds really ace, actually. Um, really cool. Um, another one from Jean. Hello, Jean. So, Kevin, what is the biggest challenge for combining kung fu into game animation in Sifu? Will you consider adding more different martial arts styles in the future in your future game? And I know Jian is a big fan of Kung Fu because he was an ex student.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. So, uh, the first part of the question, the biggest challenge combining kung fu into the game. Um, hmm. We choose one specific kung fu
Mm.
for Sifu, which is Pakmei kung fu
Cool.
from Foshan, near uh, Canton.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and so the specificity of this martial art is really explosive and really fast. You can barely see like nine strikes in 1 second,
That's
for
so
instance,
fast. Wow.
and it's impressive. So take that explosivity
Mm.
and trying to inject into the gameplay was the biggest challenge, because obviously I needed to make it readable
Yeah.
and fun for
Mm.
the player, with all of the game constraint with the moving camera, etc., etc. So that was the biggest challenge for me, because I wanted to do something fast, something impressive, but not too much, because uh, the risk is you don't understand nothing.
What's going on the screen? Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah,
Completely
yeah.
clear. Yeah.
So yeah, that was I guess my first challenge, and after the other challenge was to stay authentic
Mm.
about this kung fu. We, I didn't want to do a simulation, obviously, but a well inspired games about kung fu and about the authenticity, about the culture, Chinese culture, etc.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was tough because again, it's a game, and we had a lot of constraints with the system, with the game design, etc. So yeah, it
yeah,
was another challenge.
makes sense. So I have a follow-up question. Are you a kung fu master after having worked on Sifu?
Ah, I'm not a kung fu master. I may be,
Important.
I maybe learn some theory, I guess.
Yeah.
I have to say I practice martial arts in my early age,
Mm,
so it's kind because of that I was uh, uh, higher in slow clap.
yeah.
And yeah, so it was easy for me to discuss about specific things like postures, like gestures. I don't
Nice.
know, the fourth generation, something like that.
Yeah.
And we work with a real martial art artist,
Mm,
and the exchange was awesome because yeah, it was cool. It was a cool experience. So I'm
yeah.
not martial. I'm not a master, but I guess I know one or two things about martial arts.
That is cool. I mean, it must have been inspiring to actually talking with somebody that knows kung fu so well, and they can actually tell you not like this, but more
Yeah.
like that.
Yes.
And did they actually get to play the game and have a feel for how the game is,
Yeah.
and how
Yeah. Yeah.
what did they think about it?
I think it answered the question of authenticity well,
Yeah.
because it was really impressed about the game,
Nice.
and it really excited to share with the
Really?
Chinese
That's
family,
amazing.
etc. Yeah,
That must have been the biggest compliment that anybody can give you, right?
I guess so.
Yeah, it's just like a kung fu master or somebody that knows a kung fu a lot telling you, you know what? This game is kick-ass. I'm gonna share it with my friends.
Yes.
So cool. Yeah, no, so cool questions. Yeah, awesome stuff. So there's more questions, Kev. Um, oh yeah. So Dave is here. Hey Dave, how's it going? Back animator doing a little bit of both. Yeah, that's a cool question. Okay, so Hendrik Nelson, this is what all animation directors go through. Now that you jump ship from animator to animation director, are you going to stay as director or go back as an animator or do a little bit of both?
um, okay. So at Slow Clap, it's funny because even if you are a lead, even if you are a director, you you will always put your hands in the game.
Mm.
Uh, so even if I will stay animation director, I will animate a lot, and I want to animate a lot. So yeah, it's kind of both actually.
Nice.
But one day, maybe if the opportunity is presenting to myself, I would like to try to be creative director, maybe
Mhm.
to do my own stuff. But I'm not ready for that actually, and just in the future, I will.
Future.
Yeah, I will
Yeah.
just do my best as an animation director
Yeah.
for the moment.
That sounds great, man. I think it's actually like a noble cause, and the way you're going about it is great. I guess after all the speed that you went through from animator to animation director and all the responsibility, you probably want to take a beat and be
Yes,
like, let me stay here for a little bit and just
yes.
makes complete sense. I don't blame you. Um, Michael Esquivel has a good question, and I think this is more generic, but I think it's still useful for all the animators out there. When looking at a reel, what lets you know that the animator has an understanding of gameplay design and if he's a good fit for your team? And I guess for slow clap
Hmm.
specifically.
Let me just read Yeah. Um, for my team, it's special because I trying to trust uh, the human before,
Mm,
and even if I select people with the animation reel or reel, I prefer to see and talk with people,
mm,
just know if uh, it has potential and want to learn, if if the passion is here. And
yeah,
yeah, after that, obviously depend on what I need on the time I search people. I will maybe choose one or another, depend on the experience, but just at the last moment.
right. Yeah, I think you touched in a really good point about choosing like that human element. I think is super important because making games take a long time.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing you're looking for people that actually fit with the team, right? And
Yes,
then you look at their skills, right?
exactly. Because
Yeah,
I find the creative team, it's maybe for me it's maybe the hardest thing I did.
yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty difficult to set up a team and
Oh
just
man,
have the synergy, the family vibes, and
yeah.
stuff like that.
Completely. I could not agree more. That is by far the most difficult thing. Whenever you hire somebody or you go into a job like what Gav is doing right now and what I've done previously, and there's somebody there that perhaps doesn't gel with the team, it becomes very awkward because then you have to either work with a person and not really function correctly, or you have to fire somebody, which I don't advise anybody to go through it. And it's not very nice. So I think the position that you work at, where you actually have to hire the whole team from scratch, and they're surrounding you and they're having your back and things like that, I think is the best place to be, because then you set up things in your own way, right? And no, I don't think any two directors are the same. Any two
Mm,
animation directors are the same. So I think like setting it up for what Kevin wants and needs, it's very different than for another director. So it's really really cool. Love it. Cool, Michael. Thanks a lot. Great question, man. Oh yeah. So mocap. Do you had to direct the mocap shoots as well? And did you record anything cool that never made it in game? And most importantly, did you actually jump on the suit and record a kung fu yourself?
okay, a lot of questions. Motion capture. So yeah, after Absolver, I knew that I will need tools for mocap, because uh, with Absolver we had nothing
Mm,
for the animation tools. So yeah, it was really empty space, and for Sifu, maybe I say maybe uh, mocap it's is the solution.
yeah.
At the beginning, I thought that that mocap will save me, but
Hmm.
wasn't the case. So yeah, I developed the tool with my fellow coworker, rigging technical artist, and we did the first shoot actually with Eric Jacobus. I don't know if you know.
I don't think so.
Jacobus is the one who did the movement for Kratos, the combat of
Oh,
Kratos in
nice.
God of
That's
War. Yeah, yeah.
great. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So we went to Las Vegas to shoot a lot and a lot and a lot of things, and all of these things, maybe not a lot, not all, maybe not all, but I would say like 95%
Yeah.
of it is not in the game.
It's not in the game. Yeah.
It was just for testing tools, stuff like that,
Yeah.
and it was my first directing experience. So
Oh, cool.
it was not so pre- prepare. So yeah,
Yeah.
it was not so efficient. And after
Yeah.
that, I prepare better myself for the shoot of the finishers, like I said, and
Mhm.
we shoot like 50 takedowns
Yeah.
within 2 days.
Yeah. That's much more like it. That's cool.
Yeah, and 45 are in the game.
That is amazing. So definitely much more worthy. Worth
Yeah.
it then at that
Yes.
point. That's great. That is really, really cool. So have you actually jumped in the suit and shot some
Ah, yeah,
kung
yeah.
fu yourself?
uh, I don't remember if I did a kung fu move. Maybe. Uh, maybe.
Is there something in
I
the game that you can be like, that's me?
no, no, no. I don't think so.
No.
It was always for reference or just base for myself to keyframe it after. So yeah,
Okay.
no motion capture of myself in the
Oh
game.
man. Your one moment that you could have shined.
Yeah.
That's cool. Cool answer. Really cool answer.
Yeah, I guess I can animate kung fu properly, but I can't move
Yeah.
properly.
I know what you mean. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're not a kung fu master, right? You don't
Yeah,
move
yeah, yeah.
gracefully as a yeah, yeah, yeah. That would be me as well. In my head, maybe, but not in reality. Um, yeah, so let me see if we have any other questions here. Oh yeah, here. Like this is actually a good one for me because I'm a big old school kung fu fan. So Dave asks Solid Cloud if we had to watch a lot of old school kung fu movies during development, and if so, what was your favorite?
Obviously, I had to watch a lot of movies,
Yeah,
kung fu movies, and not only kung fu movies, but just action movies as well. And
yeah.
actually, the one it was the red. I don't know if you know the red.
No, no, I don't think so.
So yeah, it was
Oh, Dread, the movie?
the red. Yeah, yeah, the movie.
Oh, Dread with
No,
Sylvester Stallone.
no, the red.
Oh, the Red. No,
Yeah,
no, no.
yeah, it was I guess the main reference for the viscerality and yeah, the cinematic pace of the fight.
Amazing. And I need to actually kind of have a look, see if I can find it. It's a
It's
kung fu movie.
it's not a yeah, it's a action movies. Yeah, it's actually not kung fu. It's a pencak silat, the martial arts who
Okay.
the main character use.
No, I don't think I can find it now, but I'm very curious. I'll definitely go look it up after this.
Yes.
It sounds good. It sounds really good. Cool. So you actually kind of like watched a lot.
Yeah, lot
Oh,
of
sorry, I misunderstood. The Raid.
the
Sorry,
raid.
man.
Sorry, it's my English. Sorry.
Yeah, 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 I misunderstood. Yeah, yeah, they've actually, yeah, no, I actually watched the Raid. Yeah, 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 I've watched the Raid, and the Raid is absolutely amazing. So, like some of the sequences they make and how vicious it is, I can
Yes.
actually see the connection between that and Sifu actually, because it's very very vicious for sure.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, it's really, really cool. Yeah, the raid makes complete sense. Makes complete sense. So when you actually were looking at the raid, were you looking at the choreography between the two characters, between the two actors fighting each other, or were you looking at the impacts and the whole like viciousness of it all, like,
Yeah.
or maybe both?
It's more that you have to feel the rate the rate to feel the impact.
Yeah,
The way that it shows everything, and sometimes you want to just look away, but you can't because
you can't.
it's
It's
really
like,
cool.
yeah,
Uh, that was important for me.
Yeah.
and maybe the choreography as well, but in the second place.
Yeah, like just the viciousness of it all, right? Like
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
like bone crunching and just
yes.
yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, cool. Yeah, thanks a lot, Dave. Yeah, for sure. Got my back there. Um, so I didn't even know this. Were you aware of this?
Ah, yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. So how does it make you feel having somebody like Neil, legendary game director, say this about your game and your work?
I cried a little,
A little bit, no
little
tears.
tears, happy tear.
Have a tear.
Uh, uh, like I said at the beginning of the chat, my dream was to work at Naughty Dog, and Neil for me
Mm.
is it's a god. For
Yeah, he's great.
it's
He's
my
amazing.
yeah.
Yeah,
So when I saw that tweet, it was a lot of emotions for me, and
yeah.
yeah, I guess it is in my head for forever.
Forever. Yeah, it's gonna
My
be one of those
heart,
moments. Yeah.
yes.
Did you print the tweet and put it like on your wall?
No,
Paint it a
no,
little bit?
not
No.
yet.
You should
Maybe
consider.
maybe later.
You should consider. No, but yeah, like it's actually a really good prop for him, for somebody like him to actually not only play the game and finish it, but also say that it's like game of the year material. Really amazing. And I found it funny sometimes how life actually takes a turn. Like the fact that you actually wanted to work at Naughty Dog, and I'm pretty sure at some point you might have felt maybe like you didn't make it, so therefore feels like a failure. But now you actually are working on this other game that actually people at Naughty Dog are playing, and that thing is saying like, "Damn, this thing is amazing." Right? It must feel like a redemption story almost, if that makes
Yes,
sense.
yes, yes. Maybe, maybe it's a sign to
Or maybe
continue.
it's a sign. Exactly. I see what you mean. Who created these animations? That is so cool. So we are about to hit the hour, and I don't want to keep you
Oh yeah.
forever, Kev. It's been a lot of fun so far, but like, John Jarrett Evans. By the way, cool name, John. John Jarrett Evans sounds like a superhero name. Are there any video game company animations that you both admire? Yeah, what is maybe like the company that you admire the most, that is doing the best animation work out there?
Animation wise, it's a good questions. I don't know. Um,
Mm.
I will not say Naughty Dog. Uh, ah, Nothing comes in my head.
Yeah, it's difficult to say sometimes. Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Maybe you can.
I'll start to give
Yeah,
you
you can
time.
start. Yeah.
Sure. So I think, to me at least, there's quite a lot of companies. It's almost like naming your top five albums or to your
Yeah,
top five
it's
artists. It's hard, but I think in no order. I think there's a few companies that actually are like doing a really good job. So Insomniac being like a clear like choice because of Spider-Man. There's also I think that Platinum Games, they do a really good job at merging animation with gameplay, right? Because that is, I feel like they do it better than anybody, to have this sense of a good feel in the game, which I think is really, really awesome. And actually, as of recent, like a new player came into the game that absolutely amazed me, which is this studio, which I forget the name now, that created this game that just came out called Hi-Fi Rush. Have you seen that game?
yes, 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 yes.
Yeah, like
Yes.
the quality of the animation of on Hi-Fi Rush, and like the cutscenes and how they put it all together, both 2D animation with 3D animation with nice shaders and like super clean animation.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah.
to me, what happens in a lot of games is that the cinematics can look like this, can look like 2D and clean and amazing and all that stuff, and then you jump into game and it's clunky and it's not clean, and it's just, you can tell that it is a game now, and it's
Yeah,
just like, I wish the whole game was like the cutscene. But I think they pulled it off. They really made both things match each other and really works, right?
yeah, completely
Um,
agree. Yeah.
so like it's another one. I feel like about this game how I felt about your game when I saw Sifu, Kev. Like when I saw it, I was like, damn,
That's
who created this stuff? This is amazing.
well. Thank
so
you.
so yeah, like I think that, and obviously, Kev in slow clap, obviously, you know.
Thank you. No. That's very very nice. I I have some games in my head, but I don't know if the studio is animation uh, rise. I
Yeah.
don't know how to say, but it's Team Fortress 2.
Team Fortress. Oh, Evolve.
Yeah, Valve.
Valve. Yeah, it's a
I
controversial one. I think
okay.
because they used to make games, and now they are basically a software company or
Ah, okay.
hardware company. But I agree, Valve actually, or Team Fortress and Portal. Oh my god, like the
Yes.
animations were absolutely amazing.
Yes.
Yeah,
Absolutely. And maybe Time Splitters 2.
Time Splitters. Yeah, wow, that's a throwback.
Yeah.
That's a throwback. Yeah, that was the studio that actually created GoldenEye.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it was exactly the same studio. Yeah, I work with a lot of those people that are, like,
Oh, cool.
yeah, but Time Splitter was like, because I guess you played it when it first came out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like super awesome original game, right?
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah.
ideas in
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
game.
And yes, I remember the animation. I remember that I said to me, well, okay, these people knew how to make things moves.
Yeah,
And yeah.
I couldn't agree more. Like, so cool. Um, any other one?
Oh no.
Just those two. So cool. Yeah, people are shouting time splitters. Big fan favorite for sure. Um, Actually, since we have a few minutes as well, there's one question here that is like a little bit controversial that everybody's talking about. Elephant in the room about AI and how they will affect your profession, our profession as an animator. Are we going to sit home in the future because of this? And
I
computers are going to automate everything?
I don't know that, but I no no I think it is just a tool, and we had to learn to yeah you have to learn we have to learn using it, and
Yeah.
what we can do with this stuff. But no, humans cannot be replaced by ma- by machine. Yeah,
Yeah.
not on the creative side of the life,
I doubt
maybe.
it. I doubt it. Yeah. No, so yeah, I have like semi-strong opinions, not super strong, but semi-strong opinions. I think that AI, as Kevin mentioned, is just a tool. And I think when it comes to animation, there's been a lots of these things happening with animation. First was the jump from 2D to 3D when computers came along, and people were very much like, now computers can animate, so our jobs are redundant. Obviously, it's not true. We still have to do the work. And then it was when mocap came along. Everybody was like, if you can capture humans now, what's the need for animators?
Mm,
And then people still need animators nowadays. And I think that creativity and animation are really well like put together. I mean, like, I don't see an AI kind of creating the genie and creating Aladdin, for example, or anything like crazy that way. I really think you have to think outside the box in order to really kind of create something so unique. It doesn't exist out there, right? And AI can only use what's out there in order to create new stuff. And I think this is why it becomes so interesting. But also, I think that ultimately, as Kevin said, like, humans are not replaceable. And if anything, AI is going to make human art more precious. So the way you go and you go to a museum and you look at a painting, you're like, wow, so cool. I think having AI spitting out a bunch of stuff that actually looks similar, when people go say this is man-made or human-made or handmade, I think is going to be like, that is amazing, right? So I think that's where things are going right now. Obviously, everybody's panicking right now and all that stuff. Let's see where it goes, but it's going to be useful. I just don't
Mm,
know how for animation, but I don't think we can replace the animators. I think that's the way it goes. That's me.
that's beautiful.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I should do a video about it. Let me know, guys. Maybe let me know. That's really cool. Oh yeah. Oh look, good analogy. The calculator never replaced the accountant, so mocap will never replace animators.
Yeah,
Perfect. That's it. You said it better than us. 100%. But yeah, Kev, it's just past an hour.
yeah.
This is very popular. 134 people are watching this, so
Oh, really? Wow.
obviously you are Mr. Popular, right?
No.
And this was really really cool, man. It's amazing. It's the very first time for everybody. Like this is the first time that Kevin and I meet face to face. We've been talking, but we never actually met face to face. So we're doing this in front of everybody, and it's been absolutely fantastic, Kev. Thanks a lot for taking the time, man.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem, man. And to everybody in the chat, thank you so much for joining us, guys. You guys are amazing. Thanks for the great questions. It was a lot of fun to answer those questions. And I shall see you in a week or two. I need to actually kind of like have somebody lined up, but I'll keep it as a surprise. Until the next one, guys. See you guys and stay well, stay safe.
Bye,
Peace.
everyone.
Bye bye.